Welcome back to the Media Unrestricted podcast. I'm Chase.
And I'm Dylan.
I know we promised you to be live on this week's episode, but some things happen. So hopefully next week we will be live for you. But this week we are going to do it just like we did a couple weeks ago. So we hope you enjoyed it that way, and we're glad to bring you this episode. So let's get right into the first topic, which is the Venom Let There Be Carnage first reactions. The film was shown just a couple weeks ago to select critics and everything, and the reviews came out very positive, which is really not a surprise to me because I knew people were really going to like this just because that's how the first Venom movie worked. The critics and everything, they weren't a big fan, but the fans and everybody liked it. So here is just a few of what the people had to say. Neil Vague said, Venom Let There Be Carnage is a frenzy mix of buddy movie, romance, and horror. It wastes no time in getting down to business and not relenting. Hardy is on fire, and Harrelson is carnage. And do not miss the credits. Ren Geekness, he had to say, the biggest strength of Venom Let There Be Carnage is its frantic pacing and exhilarating action, matching the kinetic energy Tom Hardy has with himself. Woody Harrelson is relinquishing as Cletus Cassidy and Carnage, and it is perfect for the role. Oh my God, stay for the credits. And Tony Khan also saw it, and he had to say, I was lucky enough to be among the first to finally get to see Venom Let There Be Carnage, and I adored it. The first Venom is on my favorite of the modern MCU movies, and Venom makes all the smart next steps, telling a very human and very beautiful story of Eddie Brock. I hate to tell you, Tony Khan, unless you know something, Venom Let There Be Carnage is not part of the MCU, but maybe he will be eventually. But yeah, those are just a few reviews, and I mean, I'm so excited to see this movie, and I love to hear all the positive, and I love hearing about this end credit scene. I have heard a lot of buzz about this end credit scene that you don't want to miss it. So I think I got an idea. I mean, it has to deal with Spider-Man in some way, but who knows? I mean, it could deal with anything, and I just can't wait to see it.
Yeah, I agree with you, Chase. I really can't wait to see this movie either. Um, I bet the action and everything's going to be really good. Um, I have a feeling that all these reviews are 100%. Well, I mean, obviously they're legit. They're coming from like critics and stuff, but there were some YouTubers that actually got the chance to go see it at a screening last night. Last night, as in September 27th, and a lot of them are saying they had a blast, and then they were also saying the end credit scene was something to look out for too. And yeah, again, like Chase said, Tony Khan, uh, Venom's not an MCU character that we know of yet. Maybe the end credits could have something that would change that. I don't know. That's not a spoiler or anything because I haven't seen it either.
And we'll move on to our next topic, which will also continue with the Venom topic idea, and that is Tom Hardy asks for your silence with a new Venom Let There Be Carnage poster. Hardy asked the fans to keep their thoughts about the movie spoiler free by sharing on Instagram a new poster with Venom shushing the viewer with the captions "No spoilers." This is kind of what Avengers Endgame did with the Thanos demands your silence. I mean, this movie's gonna be big, and I really, really think everybody deserves the right to not be spoiled. Because no one should go into a movie spoiled. Because I think with Avengers Endgame, I saw a couple pictures on Instagram that kind of were big things, but it didn't change my viewing of the movie. It's one of those things that definitely sucks to see. And I know, Dylan, you have been spoiled, I think, with Avengers Endgame as well. So hopefully, Venom Let There Be Carnage will be different.
Yeah, I was spoiled with Avengers Endgame. Not a whole lot was spoiled for me. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure not a whole lot was spoiled for me in the slightest. Like, I mean, as someone who knows what happens in the comics, like I knew who was coming back and all of that. I didn't know who was gonna die though. I'm glad that wasn't spoiled for me. If anything, I can't remember what exactly was spoiled for me. I just remember something was. I just cannot for the life of me remember what it was, if it was anything. But yeah, I think that's how that goes with that. Nothing's been spoiled for me yet with this, but I'll just have to see if while I'm browsing Facebook or Twitter or something over the next few days, if something does get spoiled for me.
But I don't know, man. I am very, very, very excited to see this movie. The film drops this coming Thursday. Me and Dylan will have a fresh out of the theater for you when we get out. I seen it in IMAX at 4:45, so please stay tuned for that. Can't wait to talk to you about it, and then we will have our spoiler review on Sunday. Probably might be a separate video. Just figure out how we want to do it. But I can't wait to talk to you guys about it and see this movie. I mean, I think it's going to be really good. So we'll find out just in a few days. Eternals runtime may have been revealed. The runtime for the Marvel Studios Eternals has reportedly been revealed, and it is actually longer than Avengers Infinity War. The first reported runtime for the Eternals has surfaced online and points it to be Phase 4's MCU movie being 2 hours and 36 minutes long. Now, this is not confirmed or anything, but this is just from, I think it's from in Russia or something like that. Because they actually have over there, the film is rated R. I'm not going to get into that or anything, but that is just kind of a different thing over there. But it's just crazy to me to think if that's true, this movie being 2 hours and 36 minutes. I mean, I know it's going to have a lot to explain and set up probably for future stuff, but that's going to be crazy that something like this could be longer than Avengers Infinity War. I mean, I feel like we talked about just about last month about Spider-Man No Way Home being long, so I mean, this one might be just as long as that one, I think. So stay tuned for more news on this for sure. I know we will have more on this. Mario cast has been revealed. And it's kind of a big cast, not a cast I wasn't expecting, but the cast follows as Chris Pratt will be voicing Mario, Anna Taylor-Joy will be Princess Peach, Charlie Day will be Luigi, Jack Black will be Bowser, Keegan-Michael Key will be Toad, and Seth Rogen will be Donkey Kong. Um, that kind of has me really excited for this movie. I mean, I was definitely excited for anything Mario, just because I know this is animated, but I'm actually kind of a fan of the live action one. I really found it a lot of fun as a kid, and I still kind of find it just as fun as I did back then. But this cast is this is stellar, man. This is good stuff. Um, so I can't wait to see how this movie plays out, man. This could be really cool and really good. It drops December 21st, 2022. So more to definitely come from this Mario movie. So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, Chase, I completely 100% agree. This cast is really stellar. Um, I watched this premiere as it did, and I wasn't as like shocked and like in like hysterical laughter as everybody else was. Like there are like almost everybody that I saw that saw this announcement, like immediately upon seeing the announcement, just busted out laughing and said, what the fuck is this?" And I don't get that sentiment in the slightest because like I don't know. I just don't know why people can't just give it a chance. You know what I mean? Like Chris Pratt, I think yesterday or whenever this announcement went up, a few days ago, excuse me, he came out with a video on Twitter, like doing like a mocking kind of voice. He was like, "It's a me, Mario," or he was like, "It's a me, Mario," and he's like in his Chris Pratt voice, like he was just like, "It's me, Mario," and he's like, "I'm just kidding. That's not what it's gonna sound like in the movie. It's gonna sound completely different," which obviously people need to give a chance. Like all the other cast to me makes sense. Like Charlie Day as Luigi, he's got that like anxious little brother sort of sound to his voice. Anya Taylor-Joy, she could play a live action Peach if it was up to me. I mean, I think she's just that incredible of an actress. Um, Keegan Michael Key as Toad can probably work really well too, um, because like he's not gonna sound like his deep voiced comedian. You know what I mean? They're probably gonna throw some auto tune on his voice and like all of that kind of stuff. And Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, like to me, that seems like a really good casting. Uh, like he can do like a deep, gravelly sort of gorilla-ish voice that Donkey Kong has. I think that can work out really well. And what I think is the gem of this cast is Jack Black as Bowser. And I think he has the potential to be like a real, like grindy, demonic sort of sounding like dragon lizard Bowser that he probably can be. And I think that's just really good casting. I think he's going to do amazingly. We also can't forget that Kevin Michael Richardson, who has a ton of roles in a bunch of different like cartoons and like all that kind of stuff. He's a very talented voice actor. He's going to be Kamek, the wizard. Fred Armisen is going to be Cranky Kong, which is Donkey Kong's dad. And Sebastian Maniscalco, excuse me, is going to be Spike, the little green guy with a shell on his back that throws like the big he throws like the big rolling things at Mario, like downhill at him. And then Charles Martinet is also going to be involved. He's the original voice of Mario. He's going to be in like surprise cameos throughout the movie. And a lot of people are upset saying like it's all animated. Why not just have Charles Martinet do it? Well, I mean, he never voices Mario for more than just like a few lines here and there. Like if this is a Mario movie. If you're gonna have Mario speaking a lot of lines, like you can't really have Charles Martinet doing the voices because he hasn't really gave Mario an like done extended voice lines for Mario. You know what I mean? And Mario's probably gonna. I think they said Mario's gonna be talking a lot during this movie, and I don't know if Charles Martinet could really do that. I know he's the voice actor for Mario and everything. It's what he did, but like, I don't know. I just don't know if it would work out as well. But continue on, Chase.
The box office results for this past week. Shang-Chi did it again. Took the number one spot for 3 weeks straight, with coming in with 13.3 million. So it's definitely on a little bit of the decline, but it's just crazy that this movie has been number one for this long. I mean, I don't think anyone expected this to last that long. But I think definitely the reviews have been helping it for sure. But I mean, this is crazy, and this I'm glad to see it. Dear Evan Hansen, which came out just this week, it came in at second with 7.5 million, and I feel like this. I thought this one actually should have took number one, but I really think it kind of the bad reviews that came out on it. I think really kind of hurt its chance of being first. I haven't seen it. I really have no inspirations on seeing it, but I mean, I don't know. Free Guy came in at number three with 4.1 million. Free Guy out there still doing a good job. Um, I'm not kind of surprised. I think that's the same thing with Shang-Chi. It's like the good reviews have definitely helped it. Candyman came in at 2.5 million, and Cry Macho came in at 2.1 million. So that's the box office results for this past weekend. I definitely think Venom Let There Be Carnage should take the first spot, but also the Sopranos prequel is coming out, so that could be up there too. And Adam's Family 2 is also releasing, so this could be. I feel like you're definitely gonna have a lot of switching around this week, so stay tuned for next week. I can't wait to see how everything looks different with these results. Okay, moving on to the television news. Last of Us, the HBO show, released an image showing Ellie and Joel looking at wreckage from a grassy field. So far, just from this image, they nailing the characters just from the back point of view and the clothes. I mean, it is spot on and looks great. Um, I've been kind of looking forward to this show since they announced it. Definitely with Pedro Pascal as Joel. because he's killing it in Mandalorian. So I think he's just going to kill this role too. And The Last of Us is the first one is a solid game. I loved it. The second one I haven't fully played, but what I've played, I really liked it as well. Um, and I think a TV show is just going to be just as good. I think they might have been better as a movie, but um, I think they may drag it out maybe a little too long with a TV show, but who knows? But we'll see. There's no release date at this time. I know they are still filming. I think that's what's going until the middle of next year. So maybe I expect the release date for the show to come out next year, maybe toward the end, maybe like October to November time. Sounds about right. So definitely, a trailer could be coming anytime soon. So definitely stay tuned for more on Last of Us HBO show.
Yeah, Chase, I completely agree with you. They completely, just from looking at the back, they completely nailed the look of Joel and Ellie. Just knowing the two like the actor and actress that play them, Pedro Pascal and the girl who played uh, the bear, is it the little bear or whatever from Lady Mormont. Like, I know they're both gonna knock it out of the park. And I'm actually really excited for this. I will be there on premiere night. I haven't played the first or second game. I know at least the first one is beloved by fans. I know the second one is beloved by some fans, and some fans don't like it for various reasons. But I'm really hoping this show goes off on its own thing and tells like a different kind of story compared to the actual game. I know it'll probably drag in some parts of the game, and some like characters and stuff and storylines might be similar to the game that people will recognize. I'm just hoping it goes off on its own thing, because I have no access or way to play the games before this, because at the moment finding like a PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 Pro or anything like that is extremely difficult to even try to play the original games, unless through some miracle they release at least the first game on PC. But as of right now, I have no way of playing the games, and I might watch the show as like my only outlet for The Last of Us at the moment until I can catch up on the games. And like you said, like maybe we'll see a trailer soon. Personally, I'm not sure. I don't know if they're still filming or what, but I think we'll just have to wait and see.
And last topic of the day, the Peacemaker teaser. They released one. I think everyone was expecting something at the DC fandom, which I still think we're going to get. It's just going to be the full trailer. This is kind of a real short teaser, which shows Peacemaker in the hospital after the events of the Suicide Squad. He explains to the orderly that he's in jail for superhero shit. He's supposed to be in jail for superhero shit, and says he is Peacemaker. Everyone laughs at him, insisting there's no superhero named Peacemaker, which was a great line. There's also glimpses of Robert Patrick as Peacemaker's father. Um, so I love Robert Patrick. Every role he's always in, he nails it. So I think he's going to do a good job at this one. It also shows chemistry between Peacemaker and Jennifer Holland's character, Emily Harcourt. So I think they might start a love connection there. But I have been looking forward to this Peacemaker show ever since I saw the Suicide Squad, because he is my favorite character from the show, and I'm glad that we're gonna get more of him because John Cena killed it in the role, and it's just I can't wait to see what they do. And who else is gonna appear? Because I know they might have some other Suicide Squad members or someone appearing in here. So this show drops beginning of next year with 8 episodes. So I know me and Dylan are definitely going to watch it. And probably after the episodes are over, we'll have like a off the show reaction or something like that. But yeah, I can't wait for the show. I think it stops in January. So stay tuned for the DC fandom whenever that comes out with the full trailer that I'm expecting.
Yeah, I agree with everything you just said, man. I'm so hyped for the show. I know in my review for for the movie Suicide Squad, I didn't give it a high review. I gave it a 7, I think 7.5 maybe out of 10. That's because like some of the stuff didn't land for me, and I thought it was paced awkwardly and stuff. I mean, James Gunn is a great director, and that it was a good movie. I just didn't love the movie, but I loved John Cena's character of Peacemaker. He was one of my favorite characters of that movie. I thought all the characters in that movie were well done too. I just think Peacemaker was one of the better characters of that movie, and the fact that they gave him his own spin-off show is just great. I can't wait to see what they do with John Cena and like what they do to continue the story of this Suicide Squad universe, because I'm not entirely sure if it still takes if the movie or the show takes place in the DCEU. I know they mentioned Superman, but they're not specifying whether or not it was Henry Cavill's Superman in that. You can assume it was because Harley Quinn, but and Boomerang, but I don't know if you can really.
Okay, moving on to our fun question of the day. We're gonna do Halloween classics that are not horror related. Our top three. Um, my this has kind of been I've been thinking about it. I had it earlier. I said it this, but then I've changed it. Number three is Beetlejuice. Um, this is a classic movie with Michael Keaton. Just everything about this movie is just amazing. This was on Freeform like several times last year, and I feel like I watched it so many times, and I enjoyed it every time I watch. I can just watch it all the time, and it never gets boring, never gets dull. Nothing ever goes wrong with it. I know they've said that about the sequel. To be honest, I hope we never get it because I really don't want a sequel, just because it doesn't need one. But if they did it, I'd be willing to check it out and see if it's any good. But everyone that's still around needs to be returned in some form because I love just to see everybody back. That'd be the only thing I really would look forward to. But yeah, number two, a Disney classic in Halloween Town. Um, Man, what can you say about this? This is '90s Disney. This one of the top ones. I mean, there's a lot of '90s Disney movies that are classics. This is just right up there at the top. Um, I mean, this movie kind of scared me as a kid with Calabar's character. Really scared me as a kid, and it's just everything about it is just solid. Um, and my last one is Hocus Pocus. I mean, what can you say that you haven't heard about this movie? This movie is just so good, so much fun. Uh, it never is dull. I mean, you can always watch it and always just have fun with it. Um, so I know that same thing with Beetlejuice. They have a sequel planned. I believe that's supposed to be coming. I really don't think here again we need it. Just what we had is good, but we got to make that money. Just hopefully it turns out good. I'll definitely check it out when it comes out. So Dylan, what's yours?
Well, Chase, thank you for asking. All of yours, well, most of yours were I agree with, except for Hocus Pocus. I've made my voice known that I think Hocus Pocus is way too overplayed and it's overrated. I saw it once back in 2016 at a drive-in, and like I just don't get why people like it so much. I honestly don't. But I'm not trying to shit on your favorite Halloween movie or anyone's favorite Halloween movie. If it is yours, that's cool. You like it, that's great. But moving on to mine. Mine aren't in any order. These are just our top three. He had his in an order. Mine's not in an order. And I'm gonna get started off with Halloween Town. Like Chase, this is just a great Halloween classic from those of you who were born in the '90s. You remember growing up with this movie, this one, and Halloween Town 2, Calabar's Revenge, and like they were just so good. Like the puppetry and everything to the that skeleton who drives the taxi. Like it's all just really good. Like, and I don't know. I just love these Halloween Town movies. They're awesome. Moving on to my next one, it is a movie that I think Chase and a lot of other people might have forgotten about, and that's the Scream team. Now, this movie came out I believe, in 2002. And as you can see by the on the bottom left of the picture, a Disney Channel original movie. A lot of us haven't seen that logo in forever. And I loved this movie growing up because I was always like a huge ghost person. I believed in ghosts. I still do. And like this movie was great. It even has Kathy Najimy in it, like Hocus Pocus does. And I just love the story of this movie, and takes place at Halloween. No ghosts, everything. It's just great. I like it. It's got some great comedy too. If you haven't seen it, if you're too young to remember it, or if it's a movie that just flew under your radar from when you were a kid, I highly recommend you watch this. It's a great movie. Um, my next one is also another Disney Channel original movie. It's a Halloween movie that another one that I think a lot of people forgot about. It's a '90s movie that was one of my favorites growing up too, and that's Under Wraps. What this story is about is these 3 12-year-old kids find a mummy and they have to get him back to, I can't remember where they have to get him back to, but they have to get him there so he can be with his long lost love. And if they can't, he'll be separated from her forever. And this is the mummy right here on the screen. And this thing terrified me as a kid because, obviously it's a mummy. Mummies are zombies basically. Especially if it's up walking around like that, and it looks like a zombie, which is terrifying. But I thought this movie, whenever I saw it as a kid, was super funny, and it was just one of my absolute favorite Halloween movies. And as a mummy, a mummy walking around Halloween, nobody was ever the wiser. They just assumed it was a really good mummy costume. And then like these 3 kids, and it's just a really good movie. I highly recommend you watch it because I really loved this movie.
Thank you for listening to our latest episode. We definitely appreciate it. So please like and subscribe. We would definitely appreciate it, and we thank you for your support. We will have a Venom Let There Be Carnage out of the theater review, so stay tuned for that on Thursday.